maybe instead of prioritizing these dives down towards the bottom lane, we try and get Mole to go top lane and have Xiaohan counter gank Peanut with Mole in tow.
So we've got Mole on this Talia, and maybe that'll mean a little bit more focus on towards the bot side, which is going to be difficult to have more of it, but maybe a little bit more successful focus on the bottom side for V5. Still going to be looking for these mid-game skirmishes, though. Talk me through this composition from LGD, because it's going to be rinse and repeat from game number 1, but we didn't really get to see it go the way it's meant to on paper, necessarily.
It's a very similar style to game number 1. So you've got Lies, who instead of on the Renekton is now on Kled. This great dive into the back line. Also pairs up quite well with what LGD want to do, which is toss in the Sejuani ult and have a lot of follow-up and chase potential, which is enabled by this Kled. It's Yuki, who's going to be the main source of damage, and again, it's Kramer providing a little bit of damage in that mid to late game, but definitely the utility and more of a healing bot in this game.
Well, we'll see if they're going to be able to pull it off, if they can stall out towards the late stages of the game and use Kramer in that way. The biggest issue for them in game number 1 was, honestly, Kramer getting caught out multiple times before the fight started. They kind of got away with it, honestly. There was very little power on the side of V5, especially the later the game went on. But ultimately, if Kramer can have a little bit better positioning here, I think maybe he was relying on Kahlua just a tad too much and expecting the Tahm Kench to be the get-out-of-jail-free card.
And it worked. So you can see that this is why Kahlua is going for this pick. Works very well, and it's an added safety for Kramer, who does like to play a little bit more aggressive, it seems, in these team fights. On V5, though, I think you can look to punish this. I think if you know that Kramer's going to be playing very far forward, you've now got the Talia, which is better into the Tahm Kench than the Syndra. Because the problem with Syndra is that you try to use your ultimate onto the AD carry, well, they get eaten by Tahm Kench and it's all for naught. Yeah. Whereas instead, if you look at Talia, if your AD carry gets caught in the knockback from Talia, the seismic shift, now Tahm Kench has got to overextend even further, or you bait the Tahm Kench to eat up the AD carry, then seismic shift the Tahm Kench, and now you've got 2 people that are overextended. So this is a lot better of a situation for V5.
Not to mention as well, they've got the Thresh from the side of Max, so he gets the death sentence, flays it back into the seismic shove. Suddenly, you've got a Tahm Kench and an AD carry underneath your tower. It's dream scenario right there. So,
and this is where I want to see V5 becoming a little bit more path differently, so they can set themselves up better for success. When we look at what happened in the last game, they tried to dive bot lane. Wasn't successful. It was, look, either way, this is a very difficult lane to successfully gank, and even with all these moving parts, and say we shift the attention to Xiaohan tanking instead of it being Max a level 2 Thresh, that's not going to go well regardless. I think you just abandon that plan from the get-go. Instead, as we said, you can start to play towards the top side. Kled is not a champion if set behind. He just doesn't do his job. He runs in at people and then instantly dies. Doesn't have the damage to try and sustain his way through fights. And even though he's got that little bit of a reset with dismounting, it's not enough to keep him going. So go up and try and set Lies behind on this Kled. Set up Alias for success as well. And I think V5 will be much stronger coming into this mid-game.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen a lot of sets that when they get ahead, do not let that game go. It's an incredibly strong champion, especially, as you mentioned before, if you go for one of these builds that gives you a bit of cooldown reduction early on when you get to those fights. Get a showstopper into the backline, get your haymaker off. You just obliterate the entire enemy team. So I'd love to see a little bit more focus, as you say, up towards the side of Alias and shut down the likes of Lies on this Kled. Kled definitely one of those champions, though, if he's left to his own devices, especially against something like a set, he is going to have a great time up in that top side of the map. He's going to be able to do basically whatever he wants, whenever he wants.
And this is the thing, he's not going to be left on his own. This is exactly where Peanut
wants
to go. Oh, true, yeah, he's always got his pet. I like it. But now we're going to have, I suppose, 4 people in the well, 4.
I mean, yeah, well, we saw
organic
it last time,
life
right?
forms in the top lane. We're going to have Kled alongside Sejuani, who's going to be up there to try and help
Bristle.
out as well. Bristle, exactly. I'm glad you remembered their name.
I know the names of all of the pets in League of Legends. Don't worry.
Yeah. Bristle will be there to help out with Sejuani. Set up really well. You've got the bear trap and a rope, which is such a pain for the set, because not only do you slow him, you yoink him back, then you've got the stun that's going to come through from the permafrost. It's really difficult to escape as Alias. So this is where LGD will be trying to put their focus in the early game. V5 again are going for the split map scenario, but I feel like this is only helping Peanut because he wants to play towards the top side and allow Lies to succeed in this lane.
Well, the Colonel doesn't like the composition here from V5. He believes they will have an advantage at no point in the game, even beyond 39 minutes. That is one of the first times I've seen the Colonel literally just say, this team cannot win.
Well, we'll have to see if he is going to be true, if he's the real prophet of Summoner's Rift, as again, LGD starting on this enemy red buff. And Kramer, don't do it again.
He's doing it. Wait.
No hook this time. No hook this time. Last time we saw Kramer and Killua burn a lot of Summoner spells in the early game. And Lies is taking a fairly bad trade to start things off.
It's going to be alright for now. At least Xiao Han going to be sparring with Killua here. Rest of the squad here. Killua gets hooked. It's happening again, Dagda. Not like this. Y4 did use the hail of arrows, so won't be able to use that piercing arrow to finish Killua off. He's going for the lethality again, though. He's got the Comet.
Yeah, Y4 going for the Comet. This I would have preferred to see them go for the just full auto attack build. You're into a tank like Peanut, who's going to be able to tank up a lot of that damage. Healing from Kramer, it doesn't make a difference. You can't pierce through this team. Whereas if you have more attack damage, or attack speed even, you can be this big damage source and tear through the health bars of these tanky members like Peanut and like Lies in a later stage scenario.
But I am excited for this Taliyah pick in the mid lane. When we look at this matchup between the Taliyah and the Azir, typically, you don't expect it to be a particularly action-packed matchup, but it's not about the matchup.
I'm going to cut you off. They're about to go dive bot lane again.
In the meantime, Lies is going to be knocked off of Skull. The cowardly lizard runs away. The Haymaker comes through. Flash for it as well. Alias doesn't need to be set up by his team. He's got it on his own. We've got one kill down in the bottom lane, though. Y4 going to be exhausted. He took a tower shot. It's all going the way of LGD. The auto can't quite land, though, and Mole's arrived to reassess the fight. Xiao Han tries to go for the dive. Peanut is coming in the top side. Y4 will be finished off by Bristle. And now onto the likes of Xiao Han. He's going to go down, surely. Kramer still surviving. Does go down at the end. But once again, everything goes the way of LGD.
What's the definition of insanity? Doing the same thing every time and expecting it to go differently? Because that's what V5 have done here. Going for this dive. Max still level 2. Still dies. Kills going over. I don't even know anymore, Munch. This is... Look at Xiao Han's health. Why are they trying to make this play happen? So I don't understand.
For the second time now, Max just literally tanks it too long. Then Y4 ends up tanking the tower. It all goes around.
Well, that's because Xiao Han is so low. At least in the last dive, Xiao Han was level 3. This time, they're going for this play before they have anyone hitting that level 3 mark. No one can tank the tower. And the ramp-up damage that this tower is doing means they can't finish anyone off. Yes, they get the kill onto Kramer, but everyone across the board was picking up kills on LGD's side.
They're going for it again. If it ain't broke, don't fix it, they say. The problem is this is broke. This is broke. You gotta fix this. They're gonna back away. They've decided against it. Thank God. Peanut, by the way, is laughing his ass off right now. He went down to the bottom lane. He's like, everyone's at 10 HP. This is great.
Now imagine that instead of making this play on the bottom side, they'd gone to help Alias, who'd already picked up a kill for himself. And now they're going to go and gank Lies, who just teleported in again. You could have completely turned this game in Alias's favor and had this set be your main damage dealer as this game goes on. Instead, though, they've given over 4 kills to LGD in the early game.
It ain't pretty, that's for sure. V5, I don't know. They've got to go back to the drawing board on this one. The goal lead is not that significant from the side of LGD, but the emotional lead, the lead in terms of the momentum.
They're back again.
Very heavily in favor.
They're back again.
They will not be stopped. TP this time. Alias is going to be part of the play. 5-man dive in the bot lane. This is LPL. Killua the target. Thickskin can't save him. It's going well this time. Peanuts here. Alias got his pit grit charged up. The Haymaker's a big shield, but he's down to 100 HP. Can they get out of the jungle here? He's still got enough health,
is low, but he should be okay. Oh, they're going again.
Surely not. There's
How
no
many rounds is in this game?
There's no minion wave. Don't do it. It's not worth it. The route hopefully deters them. Oh, okay. back away, reset. They did it. They got 2 kills that time.
It worked.
We take those.
Do you know why? Because they had levels, Munch. Will you leave this bot lane alone? Go home. Just go home.
Oh my god. Up towards the top side as well, by the way. Lies has just been like, all right, well, you guys go fiesta down there. I'm just going to get a massive CS advantage for myself. Maybe a tower plate or 2. Honestly, he's going to be very... Considering how badly he was losing lane, he's very happy with that.
Lies died 1v1 and has now got a level lead and a 20 CS lead. He can kill Alias now.
Well, let's see. He's going to go for the attempt, that's for sure. The Mortal Wound's going to do a lot of work. And Haymaker won't even come out at the end of the fight there. So, very comfortable trades. And that's the thing. When Cled's ahead, the trades just feel phenomenal on the back of Skull.
Hook will go wide in the bottom lane. Y4 and Max, at least this time around, have not been set as far behind. But I don't understand why V5 are going for this play when they're only level 2. If you just wait and do it exactly as we saw at the level 4 mark, fantastic. You can get these kills and get out. You've got the health bar to get away with it. But every time they're going for these dives, way before they should be looking to make the play.
Did Xiaohan just fail to clear that ward?
He may have. I didn't want to talk about it. I've been hurt by V5 enough, and I don't want to keep going on about it.
I don't know, man. He had his sweeper on. I guess he just decided not... The information was already given, right? So maybe just deciding it doesn't matter at this point. It's not going to be there by the time he goes to Krugs again. Makes sense, I guess.
He's going towards top lane now, though. Will be spotted, I believe, on going towards that way. So you can see Lies playing really far back. A lot of LGD members moving up here, not only to support Lies, but also to see if they can move towards this Rift Herald and have the man advantage at this point. Elliot
is spotted by Peanut. Peanut wanting to make a play. He's 2v1, but Kramer's here to support him. The healing will be able to come through. Showstopper goes straight on in. Haymaker still available, but Peanut gets the heal. The flash is not enough, and Alias goes down. Now Mole stepping forward, but he's going to be exhausted. Sorry, Max backs away as well. Root goes down. There's a bear trap on a rope to pull him back in. Another one goes the way of Lies. In goes Xiaohan, but he's just not tanky enough. Stopwatch will not save you, my friend. Kramer gets yet another.
And it's all said and done. 3 kills go over to LGD, and the Sejuani does, actually 4 kills go over, and Sejuani will go down on the side of LGD. They should be able to turn towards this Rift Herald as well, with Peanut racing from the base.
And just once again, V5, it feels like they're just late on the play. They're not on the same page, and each of them filtering into this fight one by one by one. LGD can just sweep up.
And this is the problem that we see with V5. Yes, the call is to go towards the Rift Herald, but look at where Y4 is. Max has made it here far before everyone else, and Mole is a little bit late as well. Alias is playing really well on this set to try and pick off the kills, but nobody is there from V5 to try and help him out. It's a solo mission from the top lane, and even though they get a kill back on the Sejuani, it's all gone astray for V5. Now, watching what I've missed in that replay was Dragon does go in favor of V5, but they're losing first third of the game. And with 3 members committed to the bot lane, LGD can continue this push towards the tier 2 as well.
They're going to be able to get it. They got the Herald for themselves. Now, as you say, on towards the tier 2. This is an attempted trade in the bottom lane. They're just going to get a couple of plays, though. Alias cannot defend this alone. It's literally that simple. Yuki's on the roam on towards the top side as well, so Mole won't be able to do too much. Tower's about to go down. Kramer will finish that one off now onto the likes of Alias. He's already taken so much damage. The shield nowhere near enough. Peanut gets yet another kill.
Now LGD can back away and turn towards mid. There's nobody there to now defend it. The wave is pushing in for them as well. They can get more of these turret plates or just go back and spend the gold that they want. Happy they picked up a kill and 2 towers.
Do you know, I came into this... Oh, here we go, catch. We finally get a catch. Nope. Tom Kench. Never mind. My least favorite champion in the game, ladies and gentlemen. The worst champion in the game. Anyway, as I was saying, we were going into this saying this was going to be the battle for the bottom of the table. Turns out what this is it's actually Peanut just farming MVPs. That's what this series is about.
You've nailed it, Munch. This is what it's been all about. I mean, he has been performing consistently the highest on LGD. We were talking about it in game number 1. You can see it again in game number 2. Doesn't matter, he's not on an early game champion. He's got 4 kills pre 10 minutes. He's going to be pretty happy with that. Let's add a 5th one to that.
Making a play onto Mole. No root comes out though, and it means that he'll walk away comfortably and safely.
LGD look like they might be fed up with being dove so many times in bottom lane. They're now coming down to try and support Lies and see if they could actually be the potential divers for this bottom lane. But spotting out Shahan, they'll be happy with just the 2 turret plates coming over for Lies.
They're going to be happy with that one. Let's take a look at some items across the board here, because once again, this lead is in about the same position it was last time around. We're just under 12 minutes in. In fact, it's even further the way of LGD, as we're about 4,000 up right now. And you can see it reflected in the items. Especially when you look towards the top side, you've got a Vamp Scepter up against a full Tiamat and a Kindle Gem. When you look towards the bottom side, completed items plus a Serrated Dirk on the side of Kramer.
The big ones that I'm looking at are Yuki's items. We said already, LGD need Yuki to be the carry here. Hasn't quite got the Nashor's Tooth completed, or sorry, the Stinger even completed, but we'll have that fairly soon. And then we can start to instead work up towards the next round of items, which is more where we'll see Yuki come into his own and start to be the big damage dealer that we want. That's why LGD are taking a bit of a slower pace now, because they've got the turrets that they want, and they don't need to be the ones aggressing. As I say, it's LGD.
Alias is going to be going down here for sure. There's no way out of this one. The Haymaker maybe will do some damage, but Peanut is not even going to entertain the idea. And you know what? He is gunning for the MVPs. He could have given that kill over to Lies, but no way. He wants it. He wants the gold. He wants the kills.
And there's no response from V5 on that play either. Yeah, they get a red buff, but who really cares about that? And Mole?
Here we go. Oh, denied. Just gets pushed into a corner by Yuki. And, well, the Emperor's denial is going to be all that happens during that fight. He walks away, and the rest of the squad is like, oh, well, okay. Well, we tried.
And now you can maybe push in mid lane. Can't really do much because LGD have returned from their escapades in the top lane to come and support this tower. Dragon is in a minute, though, and LGD would love to start securing some of these because, as we saw in the last game, if they can start to get these under their belts, it makes it very difficult for V5 to find the fights they want around the objectives.
So now, as we head towards the 15-minute mark, turret plates are about to drop. It does mean that these towers will be a lot easier to siege onto for the side of LGD. What's the win condition here for V5? Because they're already pretty significantly behind. What can they do to find their way back into this game?
So again, we are looking towards the team fights, but this is why I'm upset with Y4's build. This guy needs to be the main source of damage. I know.
Upset.
Look, you're going very heavy into burst damage with the build V5 have gone. Alias is very up front, Mole is very up front, and with this new build on Varus, his damage becomes very orientated towards the Q. And you're not going to be able to get really through LGD's side, but if they can maybe find these fights where Max can pick someone off, you have Y4 to burst them down with that ult, potentially they can win out on the 4v5. But at the moment, it's looking a bit tricky.
This is the second game in a row now where we see the trade, where V5 commit to this top lane tower, but they trade it for a bot lane tower and a dragon.
And pressure in mid. Look at where everyone's roaming to. Mole is backing away. The push is coming through from Kramer. Peanut looking to enact on this mid lane tower as well. LGD are in pretty good shape.
Right, we're just going to set up in the mid lane. Luckily, one thing this lethality Varus will offer is a whole bunch of wave players. So we'll be able to at least get rid of some of the minion wave to an extent. But with Peanut threatening ult, it does become scary. Max being there should be enough of a deterrent. Herald's back though.
So this is where maybe V5 can find their opportunity. Peanut has gone for this Warmogs, doesn't actually have a lot of tanky stats, and hasn't hit the 3k health he needs. And Yuki has only just finished his first item. V5 are definitely stronger here if they can set up the fight correctly.
They're able to get the Herald for themselves. Max gets a hook. Peanut is not the target though. You do not want to go for that one. In goes Xiaohan, Cataclysm, Emperor's Divide just to deny the fight here as Alias gets onto Lies. He's going to get away with the pocket pistol. Haymaker, not enough damage, and he just gets dropped. Max looking for another hook. Goes wide of the fight though. Mole now trying to separate the team. Kahlua and Kramer. Oh, look at that. What a great support. Kahlua, round of applause. In fact, he flashes out with his own life anyway. Mole now trying to finish up with the damage. In goes Max, in goes Xiaohan. They just can't finish the kills off. 4 members strong. No! There's the lethality coming on through. Y4 gets 2 with a single arrow. Now Lies and Peanut, they're both pretty tanky. They're against 2 carries though. I don't know if they can keep chasing this one through. Lies wants it though. Bear on a rope will come up shortly. Misses it. Gets knocked up. Pocket pistol away. In comes Alias. They're trying to turn this one around. V5, they finally find the fight they're looking for.
They did it! We said it at the beginning. V5 are in a strong point at this moment. Y4, the lethality build is really strong early. Mole also hasn't started to fall off when it comes to the damage wise, so they find the fight that they want. And a lot of it comes off of Mole's play. Catching Yuki and Kramer with that nice seismic shove, and this at the beginning makes it so much easier for V5 to then start this fight. It would have been amazing if Max had that hook available to go for the likes of Yuki and solidify this as just an outright win. But the brawl continues because there's so much healing coming through from Kramer. You've got the resets from Lies because of jumping off of Scarl, and a lot of tanky stats with Kahlua here and Peanut. Either way though, V5, they may not have got the objective, but at least they're struggling into these fights and coming out victorious.
Look at that arrow as well. Very nicely done from Y4. Showing the strengths of the lethality virus at least.
And the big thing here is Y4 got 4 kills now. He's quite strong, so this lethality virus, we said, hey, won't be able to do too much to the tanky front line, especially with Kramer healing up, is doing so much more damage that the back line needs to be careful because Kramer won't be able to heal up as quickly as needed against Y4's damage.
Yeah, that's the thing about these kinds of champions in the late stages of the game. They're not looking to hit the front line. They're looking to ignore the front line entirely, which is exactly what's going to be happening to Max. He's going to get burnt on down. Mole comes in front of the back line. Xiaohan is way too deep, though, finished off by Kahlua. And I think that's going to be it for this team fight as LGD, they get the tower they wanted, and they find a bonus pick on top of it.
Y4 was forced to deal with the front line there. Peanut playing very far forward meant that Y4 couldn't get access to the back line. Max was taken long before the fight started off, and Xiaohan dives in to think he's setting up the play, but there's no one again there to support V5's jungler.
And it's been a rough series here for Xiaohan. We're excited to see him back in the helm here, going up against Peanut. I thought maybe this would be what they needed. But if it is him that's shot calling, if it's him that's coming in and making the decisions to go for these level 2 dives and whatnot that have just gone horrendously every time, I'm less excited. And now he's 0-4 in game 2. I'm thinking maybe I was excited about the wrong player.
It always seems to be something with V5. They should have waited for levels before they make the dive. They should have waited for Y4 to join them before taking Rift Herald fights. They should have done something else. That always seems to be what we're talking about when it comes to V5. The play isn't wrong outright, it's the execution is always slightly off, and LGD have capitalized that now. 20 minutes in, almost 20 minutes in, 5k gold lead for LGD, and it's looking difficult for V5 to find their way back in.
Peanut has found his way into this brush. He's not going to find a pick for himself as V5. They're playing the old bait. Max pretending to be caught out. The rest of the squad is here, but this is a 4v5 right here. Xiaohan just dips. Max is alone. Well, the bait worked. They took the bait and they gobbled it up. It was delicious, says LGD. And now onto the likes of Alias and Y4. There's no way out. Abyssal Voyage. Hello. In comes Tom Kench, and there's, you know, Showstopper's going to do a little bit. Kramer's caught out in the back line. Dawning Shadow not enough to keep himself alive. Alias goes down, though, and Y4 will follow shortly. That's going to be the stun coming on through. Peanut will finish the kill. I think that's his 19th kill of the game or something along those lines. Now on towards the Dragon.
LGD, forget about Kramer, and Kramer does go down, but as you said, the bait was taken, and LGD kind of pulled the fisherman into the water with them. They just open up everything. They've got their second dragon of the game, and now they can start to look towards that Baron as well. Peanut, 6-1-6, a bunch of tanky stats coming in on his end as well. And even when we look towards Yuki's build as well, underway towards that tier, or that second item, and now he's starting to hit his stride.
I love how from Peanut as well. Game 1, we saw the Gargoyle Stone Plate. Game number 2, he's like, nah. I need to be able to do damage in these fights.
Mole capitalizing on Kramer, just slightly out of position, lagging behind the rest of LGD as Kahlua skips off with Peanut into the sunset. But either way, LGD, they may not have Kramer in that fight.
But we've seen
Still
that
looking
before,
good.
haven't we?
A lot.
Where Kramer's not necessarily on the same page as the rest of his team, and it's weird because Kramer is a really good player. He's a solid player on this squad, but I don't know if it's like communication issues. It's definitely coordination issues. He never seems to be on the same page.
Its positioning from Kramer has just been so strange. It's like the rest of LGD are all on the same book, and Kramer is just a page or two behind, where he's trying to skip paragraphs to figure out, oh, I should actually be moving over towards this, or I should not be standing here. We saw it in the last game where Kahlua had to save him around that dragon fight. Again, another dragon fight, Kramer gets caught out. Good on Mo, though, to figure out that Kramer was separated. You see him hiding in the bush, looking for some way to turn this fight at least slightly back around. And they do find the pick, so it's at least something for V5.
Yeah, well, they got one for themselves. Did lose a dragon and the rest of their team for it, but hey, we take the small advantages. Unstoppable Lies cannot be showstoppered. And Alias with a haymaker, it's not going to be enough. Saves them. Kahlua not only picks Lies up, he also grabs a kill.
That's how you secure the kill for yourself, to pick up the damage source so they can't finish it off. Now Peanut trying to play keep away here, but again, Kramer late to the party, which means that there's no follow-up here for LGD.
Y4 with the flash chains, but it doesn't land. There's a lantern. Oh, well, nice little escape from V5. But again, nothing really achieved.
Yeah, those Kramer trying to see, oh, do I stick around on the bottom side of Lies, or should I be coming up towards this mid? Without Senna there, not a huge amount of damage, so they will be able to escape on V5 side. Now Lies is happy to make short work of this bottom lane turret, and again we're seeing the slow creep in of gold for LGD.
And really importantly, Kled is way better at that than Renekton. Renekton on the split push, yes, he can clear the waves, doesn't do that much damage to towers, or at least nowhere near as much as the likes of a Kled. With the violent tendencies, though, Kled will annihilate the side lanes.
He destroys towers thanks to that violent tendencies. Renekton getting a little bit better, though, thanks to the Blade of the Rune King build, giving him a bit of extra whacking speed. But still, you can see Lies making short work on the bottom side, and LGD looking to make short work of this series. A 2-0 sweep on the cards, potentially for them. What is that, 7,000 gold lead at the 24-minute mark.
And just look at the CS deficit in the jungle. I mean, even outside of just the kills, look how huge Peanut is. He's 70 CS up on the likes of Xiao Han. And I was told that Sejuani is sort of budget Jarvan. But maybe it's just the pilots then, because this does not look like the budget version to me.
So the reason it's called budget Jarvan is because Jarvan has a lot of CC in his kit, but hits a little bit faster. He's able to do these level 2 ganks. The level 3s are a lot stronger. But definitely as Peanut is progressing in this game with 2 levels above and a 6 kill advantage, this is looking more like a Gucci Sejuani than it is anything else.
Or Louis Vuitton.
Louis Vuitton, true.
Hashtag ad. Well, we just rinse and repeat here for the side of LGD. You're going to send Lies down to the bottom lane. He's got his TP up and available. Baron is on the map. And LGD, they're looking for a bait right here. Alia's going to face check this one. Brute comes on through. He's already down to half. The Haymaker's not going to do all too much for him in this fight.
Hey guys, there's a lantern. Do you want to take the lantern?
He didn't even use the Haymaker until it's too late. Now Xiao Han the target. Mole flashes away. Dawning Shadow. So much damage. Mole barely survives. Had to have a heal come out from himself and Y4.
LGD will move towards this Baron, confident there is no contest from V5. And even if Xiao Han attempts it, 2 levels down and no health bar existing, it wouldn't even be a fair fight.
Max going to get rooted on up, pulled on back, and Kramer will be able to do the damage to get Lies the kill. There's the Baron, and everything just looking smooth as butter for the side of LGD.
They don't even want to give up this dragon. LGD are running directly towards it to make sure V5 have no hope of securing themselves that Infernal Drake.
Peanut considering a 2v1 for the blue buff there.
Would you
Just
blame him?
No, I wouldn't, honestly. I don't think they can kill him ever. And bear in mind that Cinderhawk obviously scales with health. Having that Warmox actually is a damage item for Sejuani right now.
Oh, this is a silly game for LGD. Running away with a 10k gold lead now. Baron in their hands. Dragon Soul in a few minutes could potentially be in their hands. And now they start to make work of these last remaining turrets. Only the outer tier 2 remains in the mid lane. It's going to be a difficult time for LGD to try and clear these waves. Because yes, you've got this Lethality Varus who's decent against normal waves, but Baroned up waves, as you can see, is definitely not his forte.
Certainly not. The poke not going to be enough. Wave clear obviously will struggle even against the likes of a Baroned up wave, but they don't really need to be able to just hardcore push on in. Ooh, Alias. I mean, he's just going for yet another journey potentially here. Peanut goes on in 1v3. Yuki's here alongside him. Xiaohan. There's a death sense as well. But Kahlua pulls him to safety. There's the Emperor's Divide as well. And Kramer, free fire on the backside, finds 2. And he'll look for Xiaohan as well. That'll be the triple kill if he can ever finish it off. And that's going to be 4 overall for the side of LGD. They are just crossing the T's and dotting the I's at this stage in the game.
V5 try to make the play happen, but just like so many this game, it blows up in their face. LGD will move in to crack open the base of V5.
Well, this is going to be all but over at this stage. I think with the respawns, I'm not sure LGD can end the game just yet. They're going to have to reset on the back of this one with Kramer sieging in the mid lane. Peanut moves down towards the bottom side as well. Can't finish off the tower because there is a response from V5.
This game is all but over though.
Agreed.
Kramer's gotten, well, was nearly able to get the mid lane turret. You've got the top lane cracked open. 3 minutes until the Dragon Soul comes up and available. And V5 have most certainly fallen behind when it comes to the scaling in this game. Yuki's hit those 3 items. You've got the rapid fire cannon onto Kramer as well, so he's able to kind of play this far back poke style of game. And even when it looks like this could work out for V5, Alias takes the long route around and can't follow up on the engage. They end up picking up Kahlua of all people and sending him into the team, but V5 were already gone before the set joins the fight.
And with that fight in the books, LGD now will be able to just waltz on towards the base of V5. Alias is going to be able to clear the supers up towards the top side, so that will reduce the pressure that it's on the side of V5. But I think this might just be a matter of brute force at this point. I'm not sure, even if you just walk under the towers with Peanut tanking, I'm really not sure that there's anything V5 could do about it.
Yeah, watch Peanut just tank up this damage
Hang
and
on.
Warmogs up.
All right, let me just call it before it happens here.
Okay.
This is the opportunity. Alias, showstopper onto Peanut. It one-shots Kramer and Yuki in the back line.
Could be the play, but Alias isn't there, Munch. He's not even close to home.
I want it to be the play. It's not going to be the play. Down goes Max. Mole barely survives. Xiaohan, he's found Peanut. Peanut's like, and what? You can't kill me. Now going flashing under the tower for Mole. Red buff to slow him. Dawning Shadow to knock his head clean off. And now Alias taken down as well. This is going to be the game. If it wasn't before, this is going to be donezo.
You can take the players out of V5, but you can't take V5 out of the players. 0 and 8 V5 will find themselves in LPL 2020.
Yeah, it's not looking good. Maybe looking for a name change off the back of this one as LGD take a clean, comfortable 2-0 with a 26-9 scoreline at the end.